We pull no punches. Press the button, subscribe.
Fight fans, welcome. And today's special guest on my show is Caoimhin Agyarko. Caoimhin, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thanks. Not long home from training, so just chilling at the moment.
Great stuff, and thanks for taking the time to come on my channel, mate.
No worries at all. Thanks for having me.
Cheers. So you're undefeated, a record of 17-0. Your next fight has been announced. It's a cracker of a fight in the super welterweight division. 13th of September, it will be co-main event to the Lewis Crocker, Paddy Donovan 2 IBF World Welterweight title fight. Live from the Cleaver Twist National Stadium at Windsor Park. You're fighting Ishmael Davis. This sort of is a homecoming fight for you, which will be a sold-out football stadium, a groundbreaking, history-making night for Irish boxing. Tell me how this feels to be part of this card in such a key fight.
Yeah, it's massive. It feels great. Obviously to be fighting in my home city again. It's something that I've been wanting to do regularly. So to be back fighting in Belfast, on a massive card like this, in a real good kind of fight, it's good to kind of get this opportunity. I've been calling for these big fights and these type of opportunities, and yeah, it's good to be able to be a co-main on the first All-Irish world title fight.
When you say good kind of fight, as a fan just talking, would you say this is your toughest and biggest fight of your career? I'd say it's biggest, but would you say it's the toughest?
I don't know until I get in there with him on September 13th. I think I look at it, every fight that's next is going to be my toughest fight, so I'll say yeah. Every fight that's next in line for me is always going to be the toughest, because that's the fight that I have to win to progress to where I want to be. So I always look at it as the toughest fight. Whether it's the toughest opponent, we'll see September 13th. Do you know what I mean? I've been in some big fights. I've been in with some good fighters, and I've maybe had tougher fights against journeymen than people who have winning records and are meant to be on paper a tougher fight. So you never know until you get in there, and it could be a real easy night's work for me, or it could be a real hard night's work. It depends. So I'll try and answer that question after the fight.
No problem. I'll have to get you back on then. Troy Williamson is one of your former opponents. You won that fight. I recently had Troy on as well. I've seen you've been doing some sparring with him. Up to now, would you say Troy has been your most difficult fight you've had?
I'd say it's on paper, yeah. It was the most difficult fight. Like, when you're actually in the ring, certain fights are tougher than others. Like, I fought a guy 3 fights ago who was 3 weights above me or something, and I honestly think that's the toughest fight I've actually had. I've had to be switched on for every second of every round because I was giving away weight. He was naturally a bigger guy, naturally stronger. So on paper, Troy Williamson is the best fighter that I fought, without doubt. He's a former British champion. Great fighter, great fighter. We had a real good fight with each other. But in terms of how I am in there, yeah, I'd say Troy is definitely one of the hardest fights I've had, without doubt. Yeah.
So you'll be in front of 20,000 fans, roughly, at Windsor Park in the great outdoors. A massive turnaround for you, and a deserved one, I must say. How does, as a boxer, going from where you've been at like York Hall to now fighting at this stadium, how does it feel for you? Do you feel like you perform differently in front of the bigger crowds or anything like that?
Yeah, definitely. I think you perform. Certainly myself, I perform better against the bigger crowds. I think that's been proven. When Lee Wood fought Michael Conlon, I was co-main for that, and I had 6,000 Irish fans. Obviously, I think there was like 6,000-7,000 Nottingham fans there, so it was a big arena fight, and I performed well. Do you know what I mean? So I've been in these situations before. I've been in small hall shows, the big shows. I don't really focus on that. Obviously, it's good to have your fans there, all the support and the big arenas. Do you know what I mean? Like you said, 20,000 Irish fans on September 13th. It's going to be unbelievable, but they can't get in there and fight for you. So that's always at the back of my mind. Of course, they help spur you on when it's getting tough in there sometimes, or the support helps rally you on. But at the end of the day, it's you and they're fighting. So I don't really focus on that. Whether it's one person in the arena or 20,000 people in the arena, I've got to get in there and do a job. And that's kind of always my mindset. Never let the crowd make you too emotional or let that get to you in a way.
Well, as you say, like 20,000 fans, Irish boxing, the atmosphere is just going to be electric. It really is. As it stands in your career now, are you still a free agent?
Yeah. Promotionally, yeah, still a free agent, yeah.
Because obviously you was with Matchroom before. I've seen several interviews where you spoke about your time at Matchroom and there's no animosity and you're now getting your chances on Matchroom shows. I presume the relationship between you both is still very, very good.
Yeah, listen, it's never personal with me in boxing. I understand the game, I understand the sport and the business side of it. So yeah, still have a solid relationship there. And my last fight was a Matchroom show, and this fight's going to be a Matchroom show. So there's still a working relationship there.
That's great to hear. I've seen some of the back and forth on social media between you and Ishmael Davis. For example, the sparring stories. I know it's not usually what boxers like to talk about and bring up sparring drama, but some of it has been broadcast on social media. Do you want to elaborate on some of what has happened so far with things like Ishmael Davis saying that he was told to take it easy on you in sparring and you sent, I think it was your training camp, messaged him or something along the lines of that?
Yeah, well, we brought Ishmael in for sparring for the Peter Dobson fight, which I ended up pulling out of injured. I had a snapped ligament in my thumb. But I mean, if anyone believes that Ishmael Davis has had to take it easy on me in sparring, then I might as well quit boxing now. I've been employed by Billy Joe Saunders to be his sparring partner for the Canelo Alvarez fight. So if Billy Joe Saunders didn't have to take it easy on me in sparring, I very highly doubted that Ishmael Davis was asked to. It's the first time I ever heard this. But Ishmael's just going to do these things, say these things to try and wind me up. It's water off a duck's back, to be honest with you. Like I don't play games with people. I don't get invested in back and forth. So he put something on social media because I had unfollowed him on Instagram. I did the exact same thing with Troy Williamson. I unfollowed him on Instagram and followed him back after the fight. I'm fighting you. I'm not your friend. I don't need to see your posts. I don't need to see what you're doing in training camp. Do you know what I mean? But certain fighters just like to take that kind of stuff personal. It's really not personal to me. It's strictly business. So yeah, he put that up. I went back and says, listen, pipe down a bit. You know what I mean? Mentioned the sparring stories, which I was kind of annoyed at myself for doing because that's not me as a person. I don't sparring. What happens to sparring should stay in sparring. But I put a little photo up of me hitting him a right hand just to remind him of them sparring stories. And he obviously come back with saying that he had to take it easy on me. But if he had to take it easy on me, there'll be an easy night's work from September 13th.
So true, that is, yeah. I mean, I saw a lot of the clips as well where he said you didn't want to spar Liam Smith. I saw that one as well. So he's
Well, you can ask Liam Smith yourself. I'm trained by Liam's brother, Swifty. You can ask Liam Smith. For my last fight in Rotunda, did I ask him for sparring? And Liam said he would help me out, but at that day he didn't have his sparring gear with him because my sparring partner didn't turn up and I needed a few rounds. Asked him, listen, I would never ever turn down a spar with anybody. It could be Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, because what sparring is for learning. See, if I was to get in with someone like Liam Smith, it's a pleasure to share a ring with a former world champion. The only thing I'm going to do is learn off him. It's not like I'm going to win the spar, or he's going to win the spar, and he's getting paid for it, or I'm getting paid for it, and you're getting medals or titles or whatever. So stuff like that. It's just like Ishmael Davis pulling stuff out of thin air. Like, it's just, the thing is, you can put something on social media and you don't have to back it up. You don't have to clarify it. You don't have to, people then can make their opinion on that. So it really is water off a duck's back to me. You can say whatever you want, but it's not going to change the result on September 13th. Do you know what I mean? That's not going to make him perform better. That's not going to make me perform any worse. Do you know what I mean? If he thinks that he's trying to get into my head, keep doing it, because it shows me that you're insecure about yourself, that you have to try and psychologically damage me, which isn't going to happen. I've been through the wars in my life, and my mind is bulletproof. So, yeah, listen, back and forth. It was a bit of fun. I then said that I'm not going to go back and forth with him on social media because it's not what I do. I'm too busy training and chilling and watching TV, so I'm not giving him my time. But listen, I'll let him do the talking and I'll do the walking.
I was going to say, like, the one thing it is doing for us fans is it does build the tension a lot. You know, the more people, the more animosity that happens, the more people want to glued in to see the fight. So it is good in that aspect, but I totally get where you're coming from as a fighter. Ishmael Davis, you said earlier about having things personal. You've said everything, obviously, what's gone on. He said, and I quote this tweet he put on social media, this one is personal for him. Do you feel that way at all?
No, not at all. I don't know why he feels it's personal with me. Ishmael Davis was texting me, do you know what I mean, after I pulled out against Peter Dobson, saying, "Oh, I heard the news, sorry to hear, bro," and like trying to add me on PlayStation and stuff like that. So this is what I'm saying. People will just come out on social media and just try and create a fake beef, for whatever reason, to get views and get likes and get people hyped. I understand it. It's just not me as a person. It's just not. I'm never going to act out a character or try and be fake to sell a fight. That's just not me. What you see is what you get, and I understand the business side of it, the entertainment side of it, and putting bums on seats, 100%. And if you're good at that, fair play. Do you know what I mean? Continue to do so. I don't like to be disrespectful. I don't like to be fake. That's just not who I am. But like I said, I understand that side of the game as well.
Yeah, it is. There's certain fights where sometimes the beef and needle is needed, and then you get other fights where it's not needed, and you get a barnstormer of a fight. So, yeah, it is part of the game, but it's not always needed. But I have spoke to a few fans closely about this fight, and they're all saying about, well, there's a bit of beef there, isn't there? There's a bit of needle, so it is drawing the attention, which obviously you understand.
Well, there's beef on his side. There's no beef on my side.
No beef on yours. Yeah, that's fair enough. And
I'm going to beat Ishmael Davis September 13th. I'll shake his hand after, and I'll wish him all the best in his career. There's nothing personal.
Fantastic. So the fight is drawing nearer. How is fight camp going for you?
I know everyone says, and then they say this as well, but it genuinely has to this date, to today, touch wood, it's been the best camp I've ever had. It's the fittest I've ever been, the strongest I've ever been. I'm really enjoying this camp. A couple of camps ago, boxing was becoming a bit of a burden for me, and I wasn't enjoying it as much. And this camp's been really enjoyable. I'm improving every day. I'm putting the work ethic in every day. I'm working super hard, and it's going amazing. Do you know what I mean? I'm sparring well. I'm smashing all my runs and the intervals and strength. Like every session is just getting better. So yeah, just, do you know what I mean? As long as it continues to go like this, then I'm going to put in a big performance September 13th.
Cracking fight. Can't wait for it. So you've said you believe you'll win the fight, shake his hand after. How do you believe the fight will go? Do you think you'll stop him, win on points, or do you just see it as a win is a win and that's it?
I never focus on stoppages or say I'm going to outpoint him or whatever. Whatever way it comes, I'll take it. If I have Ishmael Davis, I have that killer instinct, I'll finish him off. If I have to outbox him for 12 rounds, I'll outbox him. If I have to outbox him and fight him, I'll outbox him and fight him. If I have to fight him, I'll fight him. I'm not a one-trick pony like most fighters, and that's no disrespect to most fighters. Like, you can be so good at something, and that works for you, and that's effective against fighters. But all you have to do is look at my last fight against Ryan Kelly. Forget the 10 days notice. That's no excuse. I don't like to say you should always be prepared, right?
Yep.
But for the first 5 rounds, I was trying to outbox him, and it was very close. And I actually, after the 5th round, scoring it after the fight, I had it 3-2 to him. And my coach said that to me in the corner. He says, "You're winning some of these rounds, but you're letting some of these slip." And I changed it up straight away. I'm a fighter that can adapt in the moment. A lot of fighters can't adapt in the moment. If I'm outboxing you and it's working, I'll continue to outbox you. If I'm outboxing you and it's not working, I'll go forward and put the pressure on and outfight you. And that's what I did against Ryan Kelly, and ultimately it got me the win. If I'm fighting you and it's not working, I'll use my boxing ability. Do you know what I mean? I can go southpaw, I can go orthodox, with fast feet, fast hands. I'm strong, explosive. I'm not this one-trick pony. So, yeah, whether it's a points win, an emphatic knockout, a stoppage, TKO, it's a Caoimhin Agyarko win. That's all I'm envisioning.
Well, as you say, you can fight different styles. You're not a one-trick pony. You can fight orthodox, fight southpaw, all these different styles. My belief is, just as a fan, to go on to the real world levels and world title fights, you do need to have a mixture of what you can do. So what is next for Caoimhin Agyarko? Are you aiming to go on to world title fights?
Yeah, of course, that's always the dream. That's always the goal. Like I'm ranked number 4 with the WBA. I'm ranked with the IBF, ranked with the WBC, and do you know what I mean? I've picked up 4 WBA international and continental titles. So I'm in with touching distance with a world title. So I get past Ishmael Davis September 13th. And then hopefully I can push on the world honours, whether that's an eliminator or a world title. I'm world ranked, and this will push me up the rankings. So that's the plan.
Well, as we said, September the 13th is an absolute cracker of a fight. You versus Ishmael Davis. And I'm also looking forward to seeing you get the win and your career progression as well. Caoimhin Agyarko, thanks very much for your time. Really, really appreciate you coming on. Any final last words for the fight to intrigue the fans for it?
Just tune in. It's going to be a special night. Obviously, fighting back home in my home city. Belfast is always a special place for me. Do you know what I mean? I know I don't train there, but anybody knows me knows that I always try to get back to Belfast and give us its props. And it's just a wonderful city, and it's, like I said, it's home for me. So tune in. You're going to see a spectacular performance September 13th.
Brilliant. Really looking forward to it. Once again, thanks for your time, and hopefully get you back on in the future. Caoimhin Agyarko, thanks again, mate. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you, mate.